Hey Taurus, how you doing? Welcome to the Crow Tarot. We're going to be doing your first half of April general reading. We're going to start off with some animal energy like I like to do. We are swiftly approaching your birthday season in proper spring, and I am so excited about that. Yes, feeling all the spring vibes. Okay. Let's see, what is the animal energy for Taurus? Please and thank you for first half of April. Here we are. Got a heavy hitter, y'all. We got the Phoenix. Phoenix, this is an energy that I have had to become intimately connected with. I have to say, like, I've been meditating a lot on the Phoenix energy. So listen. The Phoenix, right? It goes through a death so that it could transform and rise again. Rebirth, right? But it ain't easy getting here. And you know what? The Phoenix to rise up again is a choice. That's what it is, and it's a choice every single time. And I feel like this is speaking to how we respond to our given circumstances, to internal influences that are going on inside of us, right? And we can either lay down and die and get stuck in old patterns and be in a Five of Cups place where we're lamenting what we don't have, or we can be the Phoenix, rise up, right? Rise up in a big way, better than before, right? This is a heavy hitter energy here, and I'm loving it for you guys. But again, like I said, this is not an easy process. Death has to happen before the Phoenix can rise. It literally has to die and burst into flames before it can rise up again, right? Just ask Dumbledore, right? Okay, let's get some tarot. Y'all know I make Harry Potter references. Okay, let's get with it. Okay. Actually, there's something in that. They're telling me not to glaze over that. Okay, I'll go back to it. They're actually like, talk a little bit more about that. So around this Harry Potter reference, it doesn't really matter if you've seen the films or read the books or what have you, but you know, the Phoenix was Dumbledore's familiar, right? That was his animal. And Dumbledore is a character that is largely in service of others and actually sacrificed himself for the greater good within that, you know, Harry Potter world, okay? They just told me there's something in that. There might be sacrifices that have been made or are going to be coming up to be made for the greater good, or even for your best good, okay? All right, let's see what's going on for Taurus for first half of April. Please and thank you. Oh, hello. Okay, so we got the Page of Pentacles, got some earth energy repped here. From a Taurus, from a Bulls, right? So this is very springy. I mean, look, it's you know, all about the springtime. You know, I do feel like you guys may be entertaining more than one offer. Now, this could directly be related to work because it is Pentacles, but it could be a love situation as well. They're drawing my attention to this canary right here. I do feel like the universe is going to be, I feel that there's a choice. It feels like and I was saying choices here. I think that there's a choice that has been made or that will need to be made. And I feel like you're going to get help around making it through signs, symbols, and synchronicities through the universe. Specifically birds. I'm hearing, or winged creatures, even butterflies, moths, whatever have you. Oh, and Phoenix is a winged creature. Yeah, there's something in the winged creatures for you that is going to help you along your path. It feels like you're considering best steps or something new, or should I do this, should I not? It feels like it really could be romantic and or just like creative opportunity related, or like a new line of work or a new, you know, path somehow. That's maybe taken a little while to manifest, honestly. I'm honestly getting a feeling of like, wow, I wasn't sure that was ever going to come to fruition, and now it's here. It took long enough. You might have even gotten to the point where you kind of forgot to focus on it, and that's why it came through. May not have come through in the way that you expected or that you would have preferred. Just heard that. Okay. I cannot with this because you got the Death card, and then we have the Phoenix. I mean, this is the theme, right? This is what it is. Scorpio energy here, yeah? The death card is about, well, transformation. Something dying so that something new can emerge. Like the phoenix dies so it can rise from the ashes. Brand spanking new. Okay? This feels like changes. Changes. They're drawing my attention. You know I never do this. I just got this pyronite, and I was guided in meditation. They were like, girl, get you some pyronite. I had to look it up on the internet, hunties, because I know crystals, but pyronite was one that has escaped me. It's also called fool's gold, and they're drawing my attention to this. And I feel by the way, I feel like this would be really good for some of you watching this, okay? Because it helps you discern what is real and what is not, what's in your highest, best good, and what is not. That's why it's called, you know, well, that's not why it's called fool's gold. This was mistaken for gold by the gold miners during the gold rush. But anyway, you're not here for a history lesson. But there is gold in the transformation and changes and choices that are happening right now, is my freaking point, okay? Yeah, Page of Pentacles and Death. I mean, you really are being called on to, you know, it doesn't feel like there's a lot of energy here of feeling like comfortable. Change isn't always comfortable, but sometimes it's the greatest change that is most uncomfortable that yields the greatest results. It's tricky, but it's necessary. And the fact that you have the Phoenix and then you have the Death card pop up here, and I just split the deck and we got the Star, which is about having divine faith and wishes being granted. Let's get another one for y'all. Let's get another one for y'all. This could even be the rebirth of an old dynamic, is what I'm hearing. You might be questioning if it's worth pursuing, which could be romantic or family or whatever have you, but it feels like it does involve a person somehow. And as I just said that, the Hierophant comes up. Yes, it feels like there's romantic factors here, but I feel like the romantic factors is just one given circumstance, you know, one part of a greater whole, because this, in terms of your karma, your lessons right now, it feels like this is a lot more than just about one romantic relationship or person. I have to be very clear about that because I feel it, okay? The Hierophant is about, you know, this is fairness, right? This is about the highest and best good. This also comes up, it's a marriage card, right? Contracts. But I really feel like this is, in this context, this has to do with your soul contract. The soul contracts, right? So when we incarnate down here in our meat suits, as I like to say, we have soul contracts with people. People in our soul group that we travel with from life to life. I know I'm getting a little woo-woo on you, but, you know, welcome to the party. This is the land of the woo-woo here at the Crow Tarot. Okay, thank you very much. But you know, this really feels like, for me, that this is about really choosing to follow through with these soul contracts, even when it's difficult, even when you might want to run from them. And by the way, the Hierophant is your card. It represents the Taurus. Okay? So I do feel like this is speaking a lot about you. I do. You and the people that you surround yourself with and the choices that you make and have made. It feels like there's this feeling of like, I could either go left or I could go right, but I cannot stand still in the middle anymore. I don't think the universe is going to allow you to do that anymore. I also want to point out, this is card number 5, which is the number of great and transformative change. The key as to what to do next, I really am getting called to turn to your team, your spiritual team, whoever that is for you, okay, to get answers, because I don't think that you're going, I mean, getting advice from people is lovely, right? But I really feel like the answers that you're looking for are going to need to come from your higher self and your team, your spiritual team. If you don't have a spiritual team, you know, then just really connect with your higher self and really please take time to meditate. Meditating, you will figure it out if you don't already know, is a superpower. It really, really is. Let's get some clarifiers here. Why don't we though? Why don't we though? Oh my God. I just put this deck and I got the Star again. Some of y'all might have some Aquarians around you. Yep. Okay. Let's get a clarifier for this Page of Pentacles, for my Tauruses, for my Bulls. I just heard something. There is a lot to be grateful for. Whether or not you recognize that will be person specific, but there's a lot to be grateful for and a lot coming. If things have felt unfair or imbalanced, you're wondering if like you're ever gonna get what you really like. Are you gonna receive back what you've put out there? The Hierophant says you are, okay? Okay. Clarify for Page of Pentacles for Taurus, please and thank you. Clarify for Page of Got the Emperor. That's what it is. So, you know, this is a super masculine energy. This is an active and productive energy, but this is also knowing when to, you know, really recognize all that you have achieved. Even if you're not exactly where you want to be, this is about knowing how to have a good time getting there. Okay? The fact that it's clarifying, you know, the Page of Pentacles, this is really saying that you and it's a cliche, but this is what they're telling me, okay? That you really do have everything that you need inside of you to make the right decision as it is in alignment with your soul's purpose. You do. I feel like there was this energy before now that was like this feeling of like, maybe for March, you know, we're just feeling indecisive or unsure, kind of shuffling your feet a lot. And now you're really coming into a time where it's like, you know what? I'm feeling more sure than I have in a while. And I'm loving that. I'm also getting a sense of looking back to know where you're going as well. Just don't stay there. Don't stay in the past. That's what I'm hearing for you guys, okay? Sometimes we're called to really be in the past for a minute, but I'm hearing it's a brief look over the shoulder for context and then keep it moving forward, okay? Clarify for the Death card. Okay, here's what we're talking about. So we got the Tower here. And I didn't say this before, but I'll say it now because it came up. By the way, it came up in the reverse, not to scare y'all. Okay, it is in the reverse. But the Phoenix, remember how I said that I've been meditating a lot on the Phoenix energy and that it's been very relevant for me personally? So there are two animal cards in this entire deck that I connect to the Tower. One of them is the Eagle. The other one is the Phoenix, because it's that everything, you know, the Tower card represents, for me, the universe is the great rearranger. And this is the universe stepping in to rearrange things so that you can get realigned with your soul's path and purpose. Now, I'm happy that it came up in the reverse to clarify the Death card. And I'm really hearing that there are some things that you really may need to let die and not try to resuscitate. Don't call the EMT. Let it die. I feel like this has to do with two things. I think it's going to be different for everybody, right? It's a general reading, but I feel like this has to do with old patterns and belief systems within you that you are being called to let die. But I also feel like this is external circumstances. There might be endings around you, friendships, relationships, jobs, homes, things that need to be, I'm almost hearing like, you know that old saying where it's like, when a door closes, a window opens? I'm getting this image of you like sticking your boot, like the door's trying to close and you've got your boot stuck in there so you won't let the door close all the way and so the window can't open. It's this stagnant kind of feeling stuck and kind of overwhelmed energy, but overwhelmed isn't a real, when people say they feel overwhelmed, it's not real. What's at the root of overwhelmed? Overwhelmed is not an emotion. What's at the root of overwhelmed? Fear. You're being asked to let the fear be cut away and die so that you can write. Newness is coming to you. I'm being asked to communicate to you to allow it to happen. And let it, you know, embrace the, you know, dying flames of glory. Like, let it go up in flames of smoke, right? That's what this feels like. This is a time of great change, but important change. And if you keep your boot stuck in that door so that it can't close all the way, you're going to be stuck in a house that is literally burning to the ground. Oh my God, this is like so intense, but this is what they're telling me. Let your boot get out the door so that you can go to the window. and fly like the phoenix, right? Let's get a clarifier for this Hierophant here, because the Hierophant is real auspicious, especially because it's your card, okay? This is what I'm saying. You have a lot of major arcanas, by the way. Okay, we got 2 cards here. Let's talk about it. So we got Temperance. More flames here, right? So this is about balance, right? And it's clarifying the Hierophant, right? I mean, when I say you've got a lot of major arcanas, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, little nuts, which means, and why I'm pointing that out, it's like, yeah, obviously I have eyes. We have a lot of major arcanas. Why I feel the need to point that in particular is because when major arcanas come up, these are destined events. You could even say fated, right? When they're minor arcanas, like this, Page of Pentacles, or this other card we got here, because we have the King of Swords coming out here. If you see energies that you don't necessarily like when minor arcanas come up, you can change those. Majors, not so much. What you can control in this, not my favorite word, but what you do have control over is how you respond to these fated and or destined events. Does that make sense? Balance and the Hierophant. This is your advice. Balance is about having a mind, body, and spirit connection, but also giving due time and service to all 3 of those aspects. If we put too much emphasis on 1 or 2 of those and the third is left out in the cold, then we are imbalanced and we are not in a place where we can, make the best choices as they are and aligned with our higher soul's purpose, right? And don't we all just want to do what we're here to do? And I mean that, like spiritually, like we're all here for a specific reason, right? Don't you want to do what you're here to do? Isn't going through the fire worth it? Because imagine what's on the other side. They keep telling me the word karmic, 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 karmic. It really feels like there are some karmic ties that you have finished that are now being removed from your atmosphere. Let them go. Please let them go. Okay? You can either stay in the burning house or you can exit. Okay? Now, let's talk about this. We got the King of Swords. Okay? This just came up in the Scorpio reading, actually. And you've got Scorpio's card here, okay? You could have a Scorpio around you for sure. You could be feeling like a Scorpio. That would make a lot of sense. Oh, okay, I'll talk about that then. They're telling me to talk about that. Scorpios, when they are in alignment, do not fear the unknown. Scorpios out of alignment would rather take 2 steps backward rather than 1 step forward in order to avoid taking 1 step forward into the unknown. They'd rather go backwards when they're out of alignment. This is coming up for you. Also the King of Swords, I think you're going to be called here to use your discernment in a big, big, big way. Discernment. When to speak, when to hold your tongue, when to make a move, when not to. How are you going to know? How are you going to know what to do? You're really being called to connect with your spiritual team and or your higher self. Oh, they're pointing this out to me. The Phoenix is a mythical creature. Mythical creature, right? We could even say spiritual symbolism here, right? And that's about connecting to the magic, the divinity, for help and guidance. That, it's whatever works for you. At the end of the day, if this just translates to being open to signs and synchronicities and symbols from the universe is about, what to do moving forward, cool. It's whatever works for you. You don't have to be in a shamanic mentorship program or anything, whatever. Like, it's whatever works for you. But spirituality, the unknown, transformation, destined events are a major play in your life right now, okay? And this is knowing when to speak up, when to make moves, and knowing when to release what isn't serving you. But before you can release it, you have to determine what those things are and are not. Careful here. You don't want to cut out things that are great just because you're like in a spring cleaning, you know what I mean? You're just like, and you gotta go, and you go to Goodwill, and you go to Goodwill. There are some people around you that don't need to be going to the Goodwill that you want to keep around. Okay? So but they're telling me don't become overzealous in this either. Balance it. Oh, that's interesting. They're telling me balance the information that you receive intuitively with the information that you glean from your logical mind. So this is balancing intuition with logic in the rational mind. I love that. I think that that's always good advice anyway, honestly. Let's pull an angel card. Let's pull an angel card. Everything's going to be okay. You know, your card popped up here. You've got the Phoenix. I do feel like there's going to be a lot of people around you who want your time and attention. I have to say that. I do feel like moving forward, you know, because I do feel like it's up to you how successful you're going to be in this, but I do feel the overall feeling is that you will be successful, especially with all these major arcanas coming up here. I think you're going to emerge out of this period in time like a new person just in time for your birthday, right? Seriously. This is just necessary, okay? You're the Phoenix right now. This is an amazing energy to get, okay? So be the Phoenix. I'm also hearing something else. This is something that the Phoenix does not, you know, have a pack. The Phoenix is a solo. This is something you need to do by yourself and for yourself with the help of your team or higher self. This is not really something that, you know, the Phoenix isn't like, hey, do we all want to get together and die so that we can rise up from the ashes? No, this is a solo venture, okay? I'm hearing that. Okay. Let's get an angel card for y'all. Holy, oh God, I cannot. Clear your space. Archangel Jophiel, get rid of clutter, clear the energy around you, and use Feng Shui. Clear your space. Is this not exactly what we've been talking about? Determining what you know, like what needs to go to the Goodwill? Honeys, talk about spring cleaning being taken to a whole other level in context. You are literally being called to clean out your insides and your outsides. That's what you're being called to do. No, it's not comfortable. Is it going to feel really good afterward? You know what they're showing me? Okay, they're giving me a really specific example I hope you guys can jive with. So, sometimes we get up, let's say like you're a runner. I'm a runner, so it's like an easy example for me. But let's say that you like get up and you're like, oh my God, I really don't feel like going on a run today. I would rather just like sit here and read or watch TV or do work, or I really don't feel like doing that, right? And then you go for the run, and then you get the endorphins, and then you feel so amazing afterwards. You're like, oh my God, I'm so glad. Because then if you don't run, you feel some guilt. You can watch people running by down the road and you're like, oh, I should be doing that, right? You are gonna feel so wonderful and I just heard accomplished after this transformative time. Please clear your space inside and out. Because without doing so, you will not have room for the new. You gotta clean out the closet before you can fill it with new things, okay? All right, my lovely Tauruses, I really hope that this was of help to you and resonated with you. If it wasn't, it did, and you just want a little more insight as to how to navigate through these energies, I am available for personal readings. All that info is in the About Me section. And with that being said, my lovely, lovely bulls, thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate it. I really appreciate you watching, really, more than I can say. And thank you for being you, okay? And be well. Until next time.